Hello, Jack. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine. How about you?
Great. It's an honor to have you in our podcast today, and we really appreciate your time to be with us. Hello, viewers. Welcome to the podcast. Today, we are joined by an important personality, Dr. Jack Phillips. He's the CEO of Return on Investment Institute and has a very unique way or perspective in delivering that. So today we're going to stay back and learn from these years of experience. Dr. Philip is the chairman of Return on Investment, known as ROI Institute, one of the world leading authorities on accountability, measurement, evaluation, and return on investment. He has consulted with Fortune 500 companies and major organizations around the globe, authored or edited more than 75 books, and his work has been featured in Wall Street Journal, Fortune, and BusinessWeek. His career spanned leadership roles in banking, aerospace, human resources, academia, and corporate development, making him uniquely qualified to discuss what truly drives business performance. Dr. Phillips, welcome to our podcast.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Yeah, let's dive into it.
Okay.
Dr. Phillips, you spent decades helping organizations measure and prove value. What first sparked your passion for accountability and return on investment?
Well, I had it early in my career. I had a request from a chief engineer at a large aerospace company called Lockheed.
Mm.
And he asked me to show the value of a particular program that he was funding. It was very expensive. And at the end of it, he asked me to show him the impact it had and the ROI. He wanted to make sure it was worth it.
Mm.
And that started my journey to understand and place a value on all kinds of projects and programs. And from that initial beginning, we developed a system to show the value of any kind of project or program.
Mm.
And now we kept working that. I kept it in my career, using it. We started publishing about it. We wrote a first book on it in 1983, a long time ago. Then in 1992, we started our business.
Mm.
After I left as a president of a banking system to start this business. And now we take it to the world, and we work with over 70 countries now. And this system is now used in businesses. It's used in governments. It's used in NGOs, nonprofits, universities, healthcare. It doesn't matter. It works quite well. It's a way to show the value of the work that you do, all the way to the financial ROI. So
Awesome.
That's the short version. We'll get more detail if you'd like.
All right, that's great. So let's go to the next question. Was there a defining moment that convinced you organization needed a better way to measure success?
Yeah. Well, it came after the first request, and I put a lot of effort to evaluate that program the way my request was. And when I presented the results back to the chief engineer, he had invited his division engineers to join the meeting. Now, this is the company that had about 13,000 engineers, all in one building, if you can imagine. So a lot of engineering work there. And he brought his chief engineers there, and I presented the results. And he liked it. And he says, this is good. It shows us that this program is valuable. Let's continue it. And I showed them some things we could do to make it better. He said, let's make it better. And he said to this group, please welcome Jack to your departments as a business partner, because we may need him on some other processes. And so when I left that meeting, I thought, this is a great idea here. It keeps the funding for your project. It makes your projects better.
Yeah.
And you get good support going forward.
All right. That's awesome.
So I thought then this is a good thing to do. So we began to put more detail around it, some structure around it, some systems around it, and some standards. We began testing it and working it more and getting it better. And finally, we began to speak about it, and write books about it. When I wrote a book about it, uh, it was a lot of great reaction. That book was in several languages.
Wow.
It went around the world. And my uh, first time to implement it in another organization apart from my own was in Johannesburg, South Africa. Uh, and we worked with a company called Eskom,
Mm.
and it's a large electric utility there that has all of the electricity for South Africa, and
Mm.
it has most of the grid for the African continent. So uh, and I saw it work there, and I thought this is something we have to do for many others, and we did. We kept growing it. So the first project was convincing to me that other people needed this, and there wasn't a system in place to do it so well.
Awesome. That's very great. So, what motivated you to dedicate your career to helping leaders? Answer the question. Was it worth the investment?
Yes, uh, yes, and so uh, we knew that other people need this, and so we go to leaders. We particularly went to the chief financial officer, uh, and that's a group that needs to understand what we do.
Mm.
And because we're working with ROI, return on investment, which comes out of the finance and accounting
Mm.
text, but it's also now we're bringing it to all kinds of projects and programs.
Yeah.
So we needed to get them involved. We wrote a book called Show Me the Money, and
Yeah.
we sent it to the top leaders across the world, essentially. And that sparked a lot of interest as to promote it to the top leadership. And what they do is then required in their organization. And that's really what's been driving our business
Awesome.
is that the leaders of the group often um, request that, require it, and that drives the business. So going through leadership helped us do that.
Awesome. So, let's look at the real meaning of ROI. So, when people hear of ROI, they often think only about money. How do you define ROI in business environment?
Yes. Okay, I want to go to a slide here and
Fine.
just show you some detail.
Mm.
Um, if you think about this is something for your audience to think through.
Yeah.
This is a value chain for anything that you do, any project, any program, any initiative, an event, a system, AI, it doesn't matter.
Mm.
So we'll show you how the financial ROI is developed here.
Yeah. Hmm.
Now, first, for any project or program, you've got people involved in them. So
Yeah.
you look for the number of people, the time they're involved, and the cost of it.
Mm.
That's the input to the project.
Mm.
Then you have outcomes. What comes out of our programs and projects and events and systems?
Mm.
First is reaction. You want people to react properly. You
Mm.
want them to see that it's relevant to their work, it's important to their success,
Yeah.
it's something they intend to use, maybe, might even recommend it to others. Reactions, very important.
Mm.
Now, from there, you go to learning. You're learning what to do to make it successful. And that's usually knowledge or skills that we're giving people to do what they need to do.
Mm.
And so they learn how to use it, learn
Mm.
how to do it. And then they actually do it. That's level 3 here. So these are levels. Application, that's actually doing it, using it, following
Mm.
through, following a procedure, using the technology,
Hmm.
using the system. Whatever you're doing, this is now we're doing it.
Yeah.
That's important. But then there's a consequence of doing it. That's the impact.
Yeah.
That's like improving productivity, reducing time, better, improving quality, reducing costs, uh, incidents, accidents. It's all those things that are out there in the measures of a business.
Mm.
We're going to influence them now. And
Yeah.
we sort out the effects of our project on those data. So we're now credible with what we've contributed. We convert that to money.
Yeah.
It's money added if it's new product, for example, or it's save if we prevent a problem like a quality issue or too much downtime. So we are putting a monetary value on improvements and avoiding a cost. Those money benefits come down to here we compare it to the cost of the program. We're going to calculate the benefit cost ratio and the ROI expressed as a percent. I'm
Yeah.
going to show you those two questions here. Two issues. Benefits versus cost is calculated this way.
Mhm.
ROI is this way. Benefits minus cost divided by cost. Remember, the benefits are the monetary benefits driven by our project. Cost is the cost for our project.
Yeah.
Now, I make this point here. See, this is benefits minus cost divided by cost times 100. In a finance and accounting book, that's listed as earnings
Mm.
for a particular project. Earnings is how much we make off the project.
Yeah.
If that's a monetary benefit, you subtract the cost. That's how much we make off the project.
Yeah.
Then the cost now we'll call it investment because
Yeah.
that's what the formula is saying. It's an
Yeah.
ROI, return on investment. The 100, let's just put a percent on it. So
Yeah.
when you say 10%, that says our program recovers its cost and adds another 10 cents for every dollar we spend.
Okay, that's awesome.
That's
Let's
what
go.
that's
Yeah.
what it means.
I think
Yes.
it's going to also answer the next question. So, what is different between measuring activity and measuring impact?
Yes. That's a good question.
Yeah.
Activities are here.
Yeah.
We get confused sometimes because we got people doing things and we're happy about it.
Mm.
That's activity. It could be there's no impact.
Yeah.
So that impact is a consequence of the activity. And
Mm.
it's an impact measure. It's often called a KPI, key performance indicator, in
Mm.
an organization.
Mm.
And executives will quickly tell you if you have application without impact, that's activity without the consequence, you're just being busy. We don't
Mm.
want to be just busy. We want to do something for a reason. That's going to be our impact. And that gets us onto, from that impact, we get to the ROI.
All right, awesome. So, why do so many organizations focus on output instead of outcome?
It probably becomes from a logic model.
Okay.
If you think about a basic logic model, they've been around for hundreds of years. We have parts of it here. But the classic logic model starts with an activity. I should say it starts with funding for the project, and then we have some activities to discover what we need, and that what we need turns into an output. An output is normally a project now. So
Yeah.
we're picking it up here. An output is what we're now measuring. An output is let's have a training program. Output is we need a system. So now we're going to take that output and now look at it at a value chain because they, we now have people involved in it. So now we look at what's the value of that system, that training program, that new event, that whatever it is we've got. So we now look at that as the people involved in it are going to be the inputs, the time they're involved, and the cost. That's what it's cost to make this output work. And now these are outcomes from that particular project. So that's a little confusing, but that's the way the logic model that started back in the 1800s looks.
All
We
right.
pick it up from when you start with your system, your program, your event, your initiative, or your training program, leadership development program, whatever it is that you're implementing now. That's where we're going to start here.
Okay, awesome. So, what's the biggest mistake leaders make when evaluating business performance?
Uh, yes, I'm going to do a couple of things here.
Okay.
One is they need to make sure that this happens. That means they're going to have to ask for it and support it and promote it.
Mm.
That is, we don't want to just see good activities. We want people doing things, but they got to be doing things for a purpose. So you got to really focus on impact. That's got to be the number one focus for a leader.
Yeah.
And if you want to see if it's working in terms of the efficient use of it, you want to go down to ROI.
Yeah.
That's only if you think you want to see if it's worth it to do this.
Yeah.
So leaders need to focus here. But now let's think a minute about leaders in general and the types of leaders. You can look at that in this value chain. Or let's think some leaders focus here. Their concern is that you react to them as a leaders. We call that charismatic. That if you say that person has a lot of charisma, that is, you like them. People are attracted to them. That's a reaction they have to the leader. That's important because you want them to want to listen to you. They see value in you. Now, learning is it? Do they learn from leaders? This is where your leader is more like a teacher or a coach. That is, you take away things from this leader. You're learning something from this leader. Hey, that's a good leader too, one who teaches.
Yeah.
Then how about application? The one who makes sure you do things. We call that the influencer.
Yeah.
That this leader influences you to do things, encourages, supports, gets you to do your best. That's a great influencer. And then impact. We call it an impactful leader. They're
Yeah.
actually delivering the kind of impact we need in an organization. They get results, we often say. But then you've got what we call a value add leader. That's a level 5 leader. That means you're adding more value than it's costing the organization. You're adding value. You're an ROI leader.
Yeah.
So what you have to, as you go up this chain of value, if you're here, you got all of these. If you're here, you got these. So we suggest we need more level 5 leaders, which means they work on all of these. They make sure people respect them and support them. People learn from them, and people do things because of them, and they have an impact that's important in the company. And that impact drives enough value to add to the company instead of taking it away. So it's a value add leader. So we'd like to think of leaders as we need more level 5 leaders here.
Yeah. Okay. So thinking of leadership and accountability, let's see. You spent years helping organizations build accountability. What does true accountability actually looks like?
A true accountability comes when you get to impact and ROI. Those are levels of accountability. If you just have a good reaction and nothing else happens, you're wasting. If you have people learn from you, but they do nothing with it, that's a waste. If people do things, but there's no consequence, that's a waste. So true accountability doesn't occur until you get to here.
Yeah.
And to make it proof. So now you've got evidence that you make a difference right here.
Yeah.
But this is the proof. When we take a step in our process to isolate the effects, we call it, sort out the effects of what you're doing from other influences. That's your true value add that you need as a leader.
Awesome. Okay. So why do employees often fear accountability rather than embrace it?
Well, they think it's too difficult. They think they can't do it. They think that it will reflect on them as a person. See, when a person moves down this chain of value, they're doing more and they're becoming more.
Yeah.
That is, this is making us listen and learn.
Yeah.
This is making us do something that's smart, something we need to be doing. But this makes sure that it's worth it. I mean, it has a meaningful impact.
Yeah.
And a positive ROI means that I added more value than I'm costing. I'm adding value to the company.
Okay.
So it's more, sometimes it's more work, but it's really smarter work. We want you to work smarter, not harder necessarily.
Awesome. Okay. So how can leader create accountability without creating fear?
Okay. First, be willing to give it a try, and first welcome mistakes within your team, and also get used to mistakes yourself. Mistakes are the way we learn. And so when you try it, you see what's working and what's not working.
Yeah.
We see when we go down this chain of value, we may see that our application wasn't so good because we really didn't learn what to do.
Yeah.
So our process improvement here is to go back and learn. So we want to try things make mistakes, correct it, get better at it, so that you don't have that fear. The biggest fear, as you point out, of this level of accountability
Yeah.
is that I might not make it. I might not be able to deliver it. But let's give it a try, get some support to help you. Uh, if you make mistakes, correct it, change it, keep working, you can get there.
Awesome. That's very good. So, what role does leadership play in creating a measurement-driven culture?
Yeah. Well, it's critical. I'm going to give you an example.
Yes, sir.
The slide that you see in front of you,
Mhm.
the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia saw this slide. We work in 70 countries. One of those is Saudi Arabia. We got a very uh, effective partner there who works with us. And so they were presenting the results of a study inside Saudi Arabia, and the Crown Prince, the leader of Saudi Arabia,
Mhm.
saw this slide, and he asked for more discussion on what all of this means.
Mm.
And so if you go into all of this, he stepped back and says, okay, I want everyone in government
Yeah.
to understand that. And it says, I want them to understand when they put a new regulation, a new system, a
Mm.
new process, a new procedure, or they do anything, hire a new person,
Mm.
we want them to think, what's the reaction to this?
Yeah.
What will they have to learn to make it successful? What would they be doing to make it successful? What impact it will have in the government? And do we save enough money or avoid enough costs to cover it
Mm.
so that we're not depleting our reserves that we have? So I want everyone to think that way. I want them to think ROI.
Mm.
And so now our partner is actually involved in, if you can imagine, getting 1.5 million people to
So,
think this way. So
awesome.
it's a 1 day workshop on ROI thinking
All right.
that's being conducted there in Saudi Arabia now.
Awesome. Okay, that's very good. And so it's a privilege for us and our listeners. So, can accountability and innovation coexist?
Yes. In fact, it has to. One of our books that we've written is called The Value of Innovation.
Okay.
And what we do a lot of these days is showing the ROI of AI.
Mm.
And I want to tell you what's happening globally, and we're working on it as a profession.
Mm.
Um, the the top executives are demanding ROI of innovation these days.
Yeah.
It says, look, it's been an experiment for the most part for
Mm.
since 2022 when
Mm.
AI first was brought to the world with the Chat GPT. And so we need to see the ROI. So 2026 is labeled the year of ROI in AI. But a lot of the providers have been slow to do this.
Yeah.
It goes back to your previous question. There's a fear that they don't deliver a positive ROI. They
Yeah.
know they have the wow effect. They can wow you,
Hmm.
but it's costing a lot of money. Is that going to be worth it? And I'll give you this interesting note. I was at a conference, speaking at a conference, doing a keynote in Malaysia, 4,000 people in the audience.
Wow.
The prime minister gave a talk before me, said he used, I should say, the conference is on innovation, on
Yeah.
AI. Now, he said, I had AI to write my speech for me.
Mm.
But it came back, it wasn't a very good speech, and I kept working with it and training it and teaching it. Finally, we got it the right way. But he says, unfortunately, it took me longer to do it with AI than if I just done it myself.
Mm.
So that's not a good endorsement, but it's showing where we are and where we are going.
Hmm.
Uh, and some others got up and talked about the bad things about AI. My presentation was showing you how it can work. And I
Yeah.
gave a great example of how it works. It was in a company called BMW in Munich, Germany.
Mm.
Now, but I asked a question going into my part. My session was on what's the ROI of AI. And I asked how many people in the audience, 4,000 people now, how many have actually seen the ROI on an AI project? And I said, raise your hand if you have. I couldn't see any hands. I can't see any hands. Would you stand up if you have seen this? No one stood up. And I said, how can this be? 4,000 people, and none of us have seen an ROI calculation. Now, the prime minister was in the audience. So a few months later, he said to his agencies in the government, he says, I think I need to see the ROI of your use in AI. And it really shook everybody up because you got a leader, top leader of a government saying, I got to see the ROI. Otherwise, we may not want to do it. And so, but that's where we need to be. So they do go together. In fact, innovation has got to show positive ROI or it won't last and won't be sustainable.
Awesome.
And but it can. It's a tremendous tool. It's a tremendous process. But we got to make sure it delivers and work it through a process that shows the value it delivers. So yes, they do go hand in hand, and
Awesome.
they have to be. That's for AI to survive and thrive the way that it's been positioned. It's got to be. This is a year to do it now.
Okay. All right. Well said. Okay. One area where ROI is often debated is in leadership development. You've
Yes.
worked extensively in leadership development and human resources. Why do so many leadership programs struggle to demonstrate measurable results?
Yes. Well, okay. That's a great question. I'm going to take you to our process. Um, this is a little complicated, but I just want to mention this. If you remember from that last, I'm going to go back to here for a minute.
Mhm.
We said this is the main value here. We got to have impact.
Yeah.
If that's what we need from our programs and from leadership development,
Mhm.
then let's start with that. So
Yeah.
our model starts here with why. It says align the program with the business need, with the,
Mhm.
and then make sure you have the right solution. Then you expect success by setting objectives
Mhm.
and having everyone work toward the success level that we decided. It's got to be impact or we're not successful. Then we
Mhm.
collect data, make it matter to the people involved, make it stick. That's application and impact. And this is the analysis we do to show the actual ROI.
Mhm.
So uh, what has to happen? They that they don't deliver value so much because we don't start with the end in mind. When someone says, I want to implement a leadership program, they
Mhm.
talk about leadership behaviors. But
Okay.
a person attending the program often wonders, why do we need these behaviors? What
Mhm.
are they going to do for us? So you need to start with why.
Mhm.
We have a problem. Maybe it's the retention of employees. Maybe it's customer complaints. Maybe it's not productivity. Maybe it's the quality of our work. If we got a problem, can we fix it, improve it, change it with leadership development? Often we can, but we got to make that connection here to make sure that it is the right solution. Even by asking someone if can we improve productivity with our team using our list of competencies, leadership development competencies that we have here? And the answer is usually yes. So now we go down through this path. We've got measures we want to change, and we've got the right solution, and we're ready to go to make it work.
Okay.
So it's a matter of aligning your program to the end goal in the beginning. Start with the end in mind. The end is not behavior.
Okay.
The end is the consequence of behavior, the impact. And when we get clear about that, it makes life a lot easier for everyone and it makes us a lot more successful.
All right. That's great. So, what metrics should organization use when evaluating leadership development programs?
Method here. This is an evaluation method that
Okay.
helps us design for the results and evaluate the results. We collect data here to see how they reacted, what they learned, what they did, the impact. We sort out the impact of, of leadership development
Mm.
on that measure. We convert it to money, compare it to the cost to get to ROI. And then we have our intangibles that we don't convert to money. Then we tell the story with data and then we leverage that. So this is an evaluation system. And
Okay.
what we could do is give you the audience a book. Be happy to share this book. This is
Okay.
called Proving the Value of Leadership Development. It
Okay.
shows
Awesome.
you how this methodology is used to evaluate leadership development. And there are 12 examples here from different backgrounds and fields and countries.
All right. Awesome. So that's very good. So the next question is, can leadership effectiveness truly be measured?
Can leadership effectiveness be measured?
Yeah,
Yes.
effectiveness.
Effectiveness, yes. So we have to define what we mean by leadership effectiveness.
Okay.
Uh, see, I think there we've got two categories of data. We've got what we call the tangible and the intangible.
Mm-hmm.
The tangible are those measures that are easy to not only measure but convert to money. Things like productivity,
Mm.
incidents, sales, accidents, uh, measures already in our system. Those are often easily converted to money and often already are converted to money. We
Mm.
call that tangible because I can convert them to money. The money lets us understanding. It's like if you got customer complaints, that's good to know that, but you get really good attention when you can show how much a complaint cost you.
Mm.
Getting it to money helps us see the problem. So the tangible we can get to money. The intangible are those that we cannot convert to money credibly with a reasonable amount of time. And that is often things like teamwork, collaboration, uh, loyalty of employees, stress, uh, communications. So it's things that we cannot easily convert to money. That's still important, but we call those intangible. But together, the intangible and intangible would be the leadership effectiveness because uh, we are effective at delivering value to the organization. In fact, if you look at the four types of data at the top of every organization, it's output, quality, cost, and time. That's measures drive every organization.
Yeah.
Output is the work they do, quality is the mistakes, errors, worst, waste, and rework. Time is the time to do it, and the cost is the cost for doing it. Those are often, if you look at those categories, they're often effective and efficiency. Two of those, quality and output, are what we call effectiveness. It shows how effective we are.
Mm.
Cost and time show us how efficient we are in delivering that. So
Okay.
the great concepts to think about is effectiveness and efficiency. Uh,
Awesome.
all four of those categories can be converted to money to make them tangible. Then the intangible are those that we cannot convert to money.
Okay. So let's go to the next session. We are now entering a new era where AI is transforming how organizations collect and analyze data. AI is reshaping nearly every industry. How do you see AI transforming ROI measurement and evaluation?
Yeah. Well, in terms of what we do, AI is helping us collect the data and analyze the data and report the data. So that speeds up this kind of analysis. And for people who are trying to learn how to do our system, for example, we have a digital coach. But it's like for every step in the model you see in front of you, it's the digital coach is there to answer any question you have about what do we do there, what options do we have, how do we make that option work, and how do we interpret that step. So it's like a coach following you around, but it's digital. It's an AI coach helping you with this process. So we're making evaluation a little quicker and making it, I think, a little better in some cases. And certainly it's less of a challenge than it was before. That's how it's affecting us. Obviously, in different industry, it's been amazing how AI is actually replacing jobs and people, and it can. But we've got to make sure that it works just as good as the person. One of the big problems that often is not talked about so much is that you have to review and look and watch and observe the innovation. And you see it with the Chat GPT and even Claude and Perplexity and many other tools that we have, you got to check their work. That means someone with an expertise has got to make sure that the AI is proper.
Yeah.
It's just like the prime minister who used AI to write his speech. It wasn't very good, but he kept working with it and he taught it. It's getting better, but still we got to work with it. Some people suggest that when you look at time savings from the use of AI, that is offset by the extra time that you have to spend checking it, make sure AI is correct. It's getting better. Hopefully that will all be much better. We won't have to do so much of it, but now we have to do a lot of it, making sure that agent that we have does really function like a human.
Awesome.
And we see a lot of examples where it does not. It breaks down a lot in certain areas, but it's getting better.
All right.
So it is a future, and it's a future we need, but we have to be careful to make sure that it's working the way we want and delivering the value that we need it to do. And it's got to be a positive ROI, or it's not a good thing for us.
Okay, that's great. So can AI help organizations finally connect learning, leadership, and business results?
Well, it can help us with this process. Now, if you've got it built into your AI platform, let's go and think about an organization that looks at innovation not from the use of generative AI or where you are using tools in your business, but you've got it now on a platform and becomes your platform. And that AI tool now has your data in it. So yes, we'll get to the point if you want to evaluate a program like leadership development, it has access to your data, and you can get when we get there, we'll be getting AI tool to be able to just go do the evaluation for us. We can say we've got these people in this evaluation program. Tell us what the ROI for each of them going through it and the ROI for the team. We're not there yet. Again, that has to be a tool that it's not a tool that we can have to use it with you because it's got to have access to your data. And that would be a tool that's on your platform. That's not there in a big way yet. And it's not there designed necessarily for evaluation, which is what we do. It will get there. And we've got some companies interested in it now. But it's going to be a long time to make that a complete regular routine use, I should say, long time away.
That's great. Okay, that's awesome. So you've worked with we've worked with organizations around the world, giving your unique perspective on leadership. What leadership qualities constantly stand out across cultures and industries?
Okay. First leadership that can really cause people to perform better. Now, you can go back to some very powerful motivators. Recognition is, if you go back to a person named Hertzberg in the 60s of last century, that tremendous work, it's still important when we just give recognition to people, but also achievement. As people achieve, they seem to want to do more. So any leadership capabilities that are working on motivating employees is going to help and making employees feel much better about the work that they're doing. So if you want performance out of someone, you want to do the things that's going to enable that performance, and leadership can do that. So they're all important, but I think some are more important than others. For example, if you think about this concept, there's a skill set that's important, and we call it motivating the average performer. You see, if you think about the leader, the performance of a team, if you manage a team and you made a bell-shaped curve on their performance, you've got the classic bell shape. You've got the people at the low side of that are people who are struggling.
Yeah.
And if they're struggling, you have to spend a lot of time with them. And maybe they have a performance issue. it may be ultimately you have to remove them, but you're spending a lot of time on your low performance. You also spend a lot of time on your high performers because those are the people you love.
Yeah.
You want to be around them because they're performing. What we ignore sometimes is that group in the middle. And that's your opportunity there as a leader, is to move the average. If I can move the average 5 or 10%, that's a lot better than that time working with those two extremes. So we got to remember, where is our opportunity? And
Okay.
it's that group in the middle that really needs some support, needs encouragement. And we spend so much of it on the two ends, we forget them, ignore them. So that's an important set of skills that can be very helpful.
Okay, awesome. So what are the highest performing organization doing differently when it comes to measurement and accountability?
Oh, the highest performing,
Organization, what are they doing differently when it comes to measurement and accountability?
yes, okay. That is, create a culture of accountability first.
Okay.
Uh, and that's, if you look at it's like the crown prince in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Yeah, first you want to have people think this way.
Yeah.
And we remind them that accountability occurs at different levels. Ultimately, we need this from everyone.
Mhm.
Impact. If you have no impact, you're probably not a good value add employee.
Yeah.
And you want everyone to understand that. So, yes, we want to learn a lot, but learning without doing is nothing. And we
Mm.
want to use that, but doing it without a consequence is nothing as well. So we could have a lot of waste unless we see the ultimate accountability. So if you teach your employees this
Mm.
accountability, uh, we can really make a difference in the organization. And you do that in different ways. Sometimes you put a line here and say below the line, above the line.
Yeah.
Below the line, you've got people who are ignoring problems, they're ignoring performance issues, they're hiding them, not claiming any responsibility, pointing fingers to others, all doing that. That's below the line because all of that is doing nothing but keeping a problem going.
Okay.
But now we want to move you above the line where you can be value add. You own problems, you help getting problems corrected, you're taking some responsibility, you're purposely doing some things, you're not blaming things on others, you're taking it yourself and go with it and do it. You want to get people to move from below the line to above the line. That's a accountability concept. You put it in terms that people can understand, but you want that culture of accountability. That's going to bring you lots of performance. Then
Yeah.
it's easy to see it, easy to measure it, and easy to reward it and applaud it.
Awesome. So how has leadership evolved over the past 2 decades?
I think its importance has increased. Um, uh, there, you go back a certain point in time, we used to think that leaders were born and not developed.
Yeah.
We've gone beyond that now. Sometimes you can be born with some personalities that makes leadership a little easier,
Yeah.
but you can develop it. So we're convinced now that it can be developed in an organization. And and second, we're getting much better at it.
Mm.
We've always measured reaction to it and learning, and then and we did that. I, I think in the early part of the last century,
Yeah.
and now from about the middle of the century toward the end of the century, we got good at measuring behaviors. In particular, we brought in a concept of 360 feedback.
Yeah.
That is, we get feedback on people observing your behavior.
Mm.
You first observe it yourself, and you got a boss who's observing you, and you've got a colleague, and you've got your direct reports, and you've got a customer maybe you're serving internally. So you've got that 360 that got started probably in the 70s,
Mm.
80s, 90s. It's there, and it's very common now. in this century, we're getting better at connecting it to impact. We realize that leadership activities or behaviors without the proper consequence connected to it doesn't add value. So we realize that the important reason for the new behavior is that it has a positive impact in the organization. So getting to leadership impact is where we are now.
Okay.
And I'd say also now is that we're looking for the ROI now. The ROI of leadership is a very hot topic.
Okay.
Showing was it worth it? If you're investing heavily in leadership development, you want to know, does it deliver enough value to cover the cost?
Yeah.
So CFOs and CEOs are asking for the ROI major leadership program. It doesn't mean they don't support it. They want it. They just want to make sure it delivers the value that we want. And it delivers at least as much, if not more, than it's costing.
Okay.
A zero ROI means it covered its cost.
Yeah.
That might be okay because you covered the cost of it because you know you got those intangibles.
Yeah.
But most leadership development these days will actually deliver high ROIs. That's the if you look at all the studies we've seen, and that's about maybe 15,000 studies over our 30-year history, the highest ROIs are those in leadership development because it's powerful because just imagine you train a leader and that leader influences the performance of the whole team. So now you got the value of the whole team, of the value that's delivered there compared to the cost of training one person, the leader. So you multiply your efforts of the leader with leadership development investment. So you get high ROIs. And so that's the good news. It's turned into a very successful process to be doing leadership development.
All right, let's move to the next segment. Throughout your career, you've also been one of the most prolific writers in the business world. You've authored more than 75 books. What message has remained most important throughout your writing?
Yes. Well, we keep trying to show people examples and don't stick with theory so much, but put a lot of practice in there.
Yeah.
This is why we show examples and case studies. A lot of our books have been just books of case studies. When we have a book like this, this has 12 case studies in the back of it. So the first half of the book is how do you do it? The last part is examples of how it's been done.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we get accused of operating in theory and not in practice.
Okay.
You need theory because that put the foundation of what you're doing, but you need to practice showing it how it works.
Yeah.
So I think the consistent part of our writing is that we show examples, we explain how it's done, and we show you how it's done, and we show you those examples, and we show you what it means when you do it. So that's been constant in all of our publications.
I guess that's going to answer my next question. Your book showed the value of what you do continues to resonate with leaders worldwide. Why is proving value more important than ever?
Oh, why is proving the value more important than ever?
Yes.
Yeah, yes. Well, it's a good question, and I want to think about how people move up in organizations in their career. They often move up based on their performance. That's probably the biggest indicator of success and moving up if you want to move up. Or even if you want to move into another area, it's how you're performing. So when you perform and when you do things, you really need to show the value of what you do.
Yeah.
Document what you do. Show it to others. And you're not trying to be boastful so much as you're trying to be factual, saying, here's what we've done and here's how it worked. So showing the value of what you do is the best thing you can do for your career. See, otherwise people may not know that. The people who need to know it may not know it. Okay. So in our book, Show the Value of What You Do is a easy to read book. It's only 150 pages. I'll show you an example of that. It's this book here, and we've got about 30 stories of there. How
Mm.
this process that we have is being used to help them show the value of what they do, and it's helped their work, it's helped their career, and in some cases even changed their lives. It's interesting that we start with a chaplain, you can imagine, in a
Mm.
healthcare system in Chicago. It's a Memorial Foundation hospital. This chaplain is showing the value of having chaplains in the intensive care unit of his hospital. And by doing that, he's showing how it affected the length of stay. It's actually a positive ROI calculated there. And they were able to keep the chaplains on staff because the hospital administrator says if we can't show the value of having chaplains, how it affects the business here, we will not be able to do that.
Yeah.
This will. And it did. And so we have a lot of those stories in there about how it's affected you. It's the best way to not only move your career, but get compensated and paid properly, and to have options for you to move around, move out, whatever you need to go, whatever you need to do. But it's also a self-satisfaction to know that you are making a difference in the organization. To make
Awesome.
a difference, you've got to have behavior and consequence.
All right.
You, behavior without the consequence is just you were busy. And you don't want to say, I was busy on my job. Busy is not enough. I contributed a lot. I
Yeah.
created a lot. I
Yeah.
performed a lot with impact data, and that's what you want. You can help your career for all kind of good reasons.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, we really enjoyed ourselves with you, but again, time is not on our side. Dr. Phillips, after a decade of helping organizations improve performance and prove value, what do you believe truly drives sustainable success?
Great question.
Mm.
Um, and it's really the support of the next level of management. So it all comes first from the top of the organization and having a leader that's what I would call a level 5 leader.
Yeah.
That means that they're working on all of those levels and they are setting the example for others. And that leader is going to support others who do the same thing. So having great leadership that supports employees, supports their performance, and rewards their consequences they make with their performance, the impact that they have, uh, can really make a difference. So I think it goes to the leadership of an organization.
Yeah.
It's how well that leader can make the organization effective and efficient to carry out its mission. And that takes level 5 leaders to get there. You need
Awesome.
more of them.
Okay. So what do you hope your legacy will be?
Well, it's that we made a difference in helping people understand what they could do and how much they could do, and that there's no limit on the successes that you can actually generate. And if when you think of something that's difficult, uh, challenging, it's easy to back away from it. But
Yeah.
that's really an opportunity for us to rise to our best to try to make sure it works. Uh, our challenge is to get people to go down this path when they not sure they want to, but they see the outcome and the impact, and they think they need to, and we encourage them, and it usually works for them. So
Awesome.
we made a difference in a lot of people's lives. We've had over 11,000 people certified in our methodology, which means that they not only know how to show the impact and ROI, but they've actually done that. That's
Awesome.
how they reach certification.
Awesome.
That's a group that are really powerful in organizations. They are supported in the organizations, and they're often promoted, and they're retained in layoffs. And so that's a valuable set of employees that we have helped create with our process.
Awesome.
So we want to do more.
Okay, that's very
So
great. So if every CEO CHRO and business leader listening today could adopt one principle about accountability, measurement, and ROI tomorrow, what will it be and how will it transform their organization?
Okay. So I'd say think about supporting the concept of level 5 leadership. That
Yeah.
means among your leaders, you want to explain what we mean here. And some won't be able to go there. And so it may be uncomfortable for some, but you've got to get this kind of thinking and this kind of analysis in your organization. It takes you where you need to be successful.
Yeah.
And you can, it doesn't take the fun out of what we do, and it doesn't we're not mean to people. We're still nice, and we still can be cordial and kind and inclusive and all of that, and we want to be, but you can still get results.
Awesome.
Someone once told me in the meetings and events industry, he says, "Are you taking all of the fun out of meetings and events?" And I'd say, "No, you can have fun and get results too. In
Yeah.
fact, it's often a lot more fun when you have the results."
Yes.
So you got it does this level of accountability doesn't get in the way of enjoying life and enjoying the work you do and having a good time at it.
Okay, that's very great. So, Dr. Phillips, thank you very much. Honestly, the time is not on our side. Let me confess, I skipped some question I intend to ask. But however, I believe we're going to come back next time to, spend more time and learn. So viewers, we want to thank Dr. Philip for sharing his incredible insight and decades of experience with us today. One of the biggest lessons from this conversation is that organization doesn't succeed simply because they invest resources. They succeed because they understand the value of those investments created. In a world filled with data, database, dashboard, AI tools, and endless metrics, leaders who thrive will be the one who focus on measuring them what really matters. Because accountability isn't all about tracking activity. It's about creating impact. To everyone listening, thank you for joining us. And if you enjoyed this conversation, please subscribe and share our podcast. And I'm going to leave Dr. Phillips' information. Okay, it's already here, but again, I'll still leave it in our description box so that you get free to contact him and, of course, ask any question. And from us here, we want to say thank you, Dr. Phillips. And to our viewers, so long. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye, and thank you. It's our pleasure, Dr. Phillips. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.